Hi, this is David McCann for WebTNG. This video is my first look at Spectra Pro. Spectra is the Gutenberg block add-on from Brainstorm Force, the makers of the Astra theme, and they're just now releasing the Pro version. What I'm going to do in this video is first take a look at the Spectra ecosystem. That's right, there's a lot going on here, and I think it's worthwhile to get the big picture. Then I'm going to do a walkthrough of using Spectra Pro with the Brainstorm Force Spectra 1 theme in the site editor to create some theme templates for a custom post type. Finally, we'll conclude with some discussion where we'll talk about the strengths and weaknesses and where I think Spectra Pro is going. Okay, so let's get started. This is the free Spectra plugin in the WordPress plugin directory. As you can see, it's got 500,000 active installs. This is the #1 or tied for #1 Gutenberg add-on, the most active installs. CodeBlocks from GoDaddy also has 500,000 active installs, but they pre-install it on their hosting plans. Now we can see that it's regularly updated. It's got more than 850 5-star reviews, very good ratings. And 70 out of 80 support tickets have been resolved in the last 2 months. So we can see that the team is very active in providing support even for the free version. Let's go to the Spectra website, take a look at the features. So one of the nice features of Spectra, the free version, is that the container implements Flexbox. Spectra comes with presets, and you can copy and paste styles, and it has a number of blocks. I think it has 35 blocks. You can see that they're kind of your standard page builder type blocks and marketing type blocks. So we have like a star rating and call to action, but we also have things like a post grid and tabs and modal and form, which are features that pretty much everyone uses on their sites. This form is pretty nice because you can use it to make a contact form. Another feature of Spectra is that it has more than 100 pre-designed templates. And this is really big, and we're going to see more about this in a couple of minutes. But let's go and now take a look at the Pro version. Like I said, Spectra Pro is just being released now. You can try it out for free, and it's just coming out of beta. So in a couple of weeks, you're watching this video, it'll be out of beta and version 1 will be released. If we look at the features here, it has support for ACF pods and MetaBox. This is something that I'm very interested in. There's a loop builder, which is a powerful feature for creating your archives and your grid displays. There's a pop-up builder. There are animations, an image gallery, Instagram block, countdown timer, Slider Pro. You can create custom registration forms and custom login forms. And it has a modal block that you can use for things like off-canvas display. So I talked about the Spectra ecosystem. Okay, we can use Spectra with Astra and Astra Pro. And why am I mentioning Astra? And that's because they've got integrations with Astra so that when you're using Spectra in the Gutenberg editor, the theme and customizer settings are carried over into Gutenberg. So what happens when you use a theme that is coordinated with a block add-on is you get more mileage out of it, you get more juice, you get kind of a smoother, nicer experience. First time I'm going to blow your mind. And that is that Cadence Pro has a theme builder, GeneratePress Pro has a theme builder, but Astra Pro does not. These others came out a few years ago, but the Brainstorm Force team has been waiting to release their theme builder. You know, in your theme builder, you need to be able to work with custom fields and dynamic data to create your theme templates. And my understanding is that the Astra team is preparing the Astra theme builder coming out in the coming months, and it'll be using Spectra Pro. For people who are using Astra and for people who want the stability and the more extensive features that Classic Themes adds, you'll be able to use Astra and Spectra Pro together. So that's something that's coming. Now, here I'm going to blow your mind a second time. And that is that, you know, the starter templates for Astra, it also has more than 1 million active installs. Astra has more than 1 million active installs, maybe up to 2 million by now, but the starter templates has more than 1 million active installs. That's huge. Shows how Brainstorm Force Team and Astra are the industry leaders. So this blew my mind, and I think it's something that people really haven't let sink in yet, just how big this is. Now I'm going to blow your mind again, okay? Check this out. It's got 3,968 5-star reviews. Woo, that's huge. Okay, so Astra and Brainstorm Force is really in a leadership position here. Now, here's another surprise. Talking about the Spectra ecosystem, and that is that not too long ago, Brainstorm Force released Spectra 1. This is their block-based theme. So Spectra 1 has 3,000 active installs. Not very many when you compare it to Astra, but when you compare it to other block-based themes, it's pretty big. This probably puts it in the top 5. Okay, so now we've had an overview of what's available in the Spectra ecosystem. We have Spectra Free, Spectra Pro, Astra theme, Astra starter sites, and now Spectra 1 theme. Let's go now to a testing site that I have set up, and we'll start to look at Spectra Pro and Spectra 1 there. So here's a testing site. This is the Spectra 1 theme, the block-based theme. I'll forgive you if you think somehow we accidentally stumbled on the Spectra 1 website, because that's what this looks like. But really what they've done is they're showing you with their theme homepage the kind of sites you can create with Spectra 1 and the Spectra blocks and the site editor. If we go to the admin side and look at the plugins, I have Spectra and Spectra Pro installed, and then I have advanced custom fields, and I've made a custom post type that has some custom fields there, and we'll use this in the site editor. Okay. When we have Spectra installed, you get this admin menu here. This is just kind of a link to help and knowledge base. Okay, but here we have a list of all their blocks and extensions, and you can disable any of them that you're not going to use. If we go to settings, we can see that there are editor options, the default content width. You can inherit your button design from the theme. You can set container padding defaults, gap defaults. Then you can select whether you want to pick your dynamic content, your custom fields from a pop-up or from the sidebar. Enter default block spacing, whether you want to allow custom CSS, whether you want to collapse panels as you move between panels, copy and paste styles, and the option for automatic block recovery. You can regenerate your CSS and JavaScript assets. You can enable the templates button. You can roll back to a previous version or enable beta. You have the option to load your Google Fonts locally, which is nice. And if you do that, then you can preload fonts. There are integrations where you can enter your account information and API keys for Instagram and Google reCAPTCHA. You can create a page and then set it for coming soon mode so that you kind of lock your site away to the landing page while your site is under construction. You can select your font families that you want to use and enter a license. Then right here is the pop-up builder. So this is a pretty full-featured pop-up builder. Then if we go and create a new page, I just want to show you that here are the templates that you can use with Spectra. Okay, they're full pages. You see there's like 4 templates, 8 templates. So these are pro versions, but they're also free ones. These are kind of starter sites, so you have like maybe an About Us page, a contact page, and so on. There are patterns. You see there's 285 block patterns that you can use. Okay, you have dark and light options, but I think these are going to pick up some of the colors from your theme. And then there are wireframes if you're trying to build out a site design. So these are the template kits, the pre-designed content that you can use. Then over here you have some page settings. You can disable the header and footer. You can enable a sticky header, a transparent header, and add custom CSS. Okay, and then you have the Spectra blocks here. Okay. So we have Spectra 1 installed, the block theme. When you have a block theme installed, then you get this site editor menu option. And if we go into the site editor, here are the template parts, which are the header, footer, and sidebar. Here are the templates that come with Spectra 1. There's also this option to manage all templates. You notice we don't see a template for books yet. So if we go to manage all templates, then we can add new, and you'll see there's the option for a single item book and archive book, and for the taxonomy genres that goes with books. Okay, so we're going to start out and create the archive for the books, custom post type. Okay, this is what the site editor gives us by default, and you can see it's using the core query loop block, and we want to use the loop builder from Spectra Pro. Okay, but first, before we get into it too far, I just wanted to show you a couple of things about the Spectra 1 theme in the site editor. And that is that the block-based themes come with these styles. And so here are color and typography sets, and you can just click it and you can see that the colors are global and switch as you move between the different style sets. So that's a cool feature of block themes. And Spectra comes with 9 of these different color sets, so that's pretty cool. There are typography options here. These are loaded from the theme JSON file of Spectra 1. So you can manage these here. You can see that it's using these CSS variables for the different sizes. I believe it's also using by default some fluid typography features. That's built into the typography options. And then here are the button defaults. Here are colors from our style kit. All right, and you can see they're tied to different features in the theme. And then here are layout options, so you can set the width and the kind of text content width. And a lot of block themes have this kind of wider header and then skinny content in the middle. You can adjust those here. And then you can go through the different blocks and customize those for your defaults. If we go here to the style book, this is another feature, block themes that we don't have in classic themes. And so you can see kind of a preview here of how the different blocks will look by default, and you can customize these. So that's kind of a cool feature of block themes. All right, let's go here and let's add a new block here. We'll add a heading block. We're going to make it H1, and our color is going to be white. Okay, and our text is going to be book reviews. Okay, and we'll center it. I'm going to get rid of that block and this one. Okay, so what I'm going to do is be kind of bold. I'm just going to remove this whole group. And then I'm going to insert a container block. And just have one container starting out here. Then inside the container, we will add our loop builder. And we'll create it from scratch. Okay, and we will have an image block. And okay, we'll go here. We'll choose that we want the featured image. And we'll click apply. We'll go up to the loop builder, and under content, we'll say we want it to be books. And looks like we need to set a size of our featured image. So we'll give it, let's say, 180 wide by 260 tall. In here, we will add another container. And in this container, then we'll add the heading block. Let's move that into the container. Okay, and then we'll pick that we want it to be the post title. Can enable the link. This is a little funny thing they have. I think they're going to tweak this. But see, it says select the text before applying the settings. And that's because it allows you to add custom fields inline, so you could have some text and then a custom field, but we don't need that right now, so we'll just select that and apply it. After that, we will add the post excerpt, and let's try adding the heading block again, but this time let's make it a paragraph or a div. And let's go to dynamic content and do post excerpt. So there we have our post excerpt. Let's go to our wrapper here and let's make it just one column. Okay, so that's looking better. And then this container set to 100%, let's make it 25%. And let's set the featured image here to center. Okay, so that's looking better. You notice how when we set that, automatically adjusted the size of the other container, so that's nice. We're doing pretty well here. Let's see what we're going to need to do. We'll go to our container here. Let's go to spacing, give it some margin on the top. And whoops, give it some margin on the top and bottom. Okay, so under the post excerpt, let's add buttons. And this button will be read more. Go to content, and our link will be from the database in the current post, and it will go to the post permalink. So that's good. Okay, now on this one, try to use a custom field. That's how we see how flexible the archive is. So we'll go visit author's website. We'll do the link and do post custom field. And here we have author's website. Let's save this and go take a look and see how we're doing on the front end. I'm just going to duplicate this tab and let's go to the front end. All right, that's looking pretty good. Does this work? Yeah, awesome. Okay, this was pretty easy. You can put a little space in there, put a background color, and we need to do some pagination, I guess. So let's go back here, and on our container here, let's give it a background color, maybe a very light color, and we'll do the same for this one. Okay, let's figure out how we're going to add our pagination. Here it is, add pagination. Okay, so we'll save that. And let's go look now. Okay. So that was pretty easy to do, and it looks nice. Certainly as easy as any other theme builder I've used, and we were able to add a custom field, so we know that the loop builder is flexible enough to do that. All right, now let's go and do the template for the single book item. Okay, let's go back now to templates, and we'll add single item book. Don't want it for a specific book, we'll have it for all books. Okay, so it's giving us the post title and the post meta up here already, so that's good. Let's click on this here. I'm not sure if that's going to pick up the genres category. We'll see when we test that if it does that. Okay, I don't see it giving us the option though to pick the category. All right. Is this the group here? Yeah, then we have tags and post author. I don't really need that. And then these are the comments, which I guess are nice to have. So I'll leave that. But in this group, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to insert before, and this is going to be a container. Okay, we'll make this one 25%, and we'll duplicate it, and we'll make this one 70%. Okay, and for this container, we'll go down now to the flex properties, set it to be a row. So see how easy that was? Then we're going to move the featured image here. Okay, but I'm gonna try to use the Spectra image block. So usually you get a few more options with the non-core blocks. Let's select our image, and it'll be the featured image. And then we'll have it centered, and let's set the size of the image again. Was that like 180 wide and 260 tall? So we are in the single item for book, and we're just seeing a placeholder here. We're not seeing the image preview, so that's kind of too bad, but I think that stackable and cadence and generate blocks also work that way here in the site editor. Some of the more advanced block plugins that are designed specifically for the site editor, like Green Shift and Quickly, do show the actual content here instead of a preview, but this is fine. We can work with this. Okay, and then here, let's move this up into there. Okay, so that's the post content. And then we'll get rid of this. We won't need that anymore. In this container under the featured image, we'll add another image block. And this one will also be dynamic data, but now we're going to choose a post custom field. Okay, and then we're required to do manual input. So that's another kind of limitation here in the site editor. Okay, so let's enter the name of our image, which I think is author's photo, but we're going to need to go check that. Let's go here and go into ACF, book fields, author's photo. Okay, it's with an underscore, so I copied that, and let's fix that. Okay, and we'll center that, and we'll make this one, let's say 100 by 100. Okay. Go to our outer container here with the flex controls, and we'll set the content to align top. Okay, and I think, is this done? Is this done now? No, it looks like I need to do that again. Author's photo, oops, underscore, I think it was. Photo. Okay, I guess I didn't click apply. Okay, but it does have the... So let's save this now. Let's go to the front end. Go to our archive. Okay, and we will, let's read about this one. Okay, and so here's our title and the author and the publication date, the featured image, and our custom field, image field, and our content. We're missing the custom taxonomy. So let's see if we can fix that or not. Let's add insert after, and genres, is that going to be it? I guess so. Let's go to this one and duplicate it and move this down in between. Let's save and go refresh. There we go. There's our custom genre. Oops, I got two. Shoot. Oh, this one goes out. That's the problem. Yep. Okay, because it doesn't show the category. Okay, and here we go. All right, so that's also pretty easy. Kind of the only downside here is we don't see the preview in the site editor, but that didn't stop us. So here's the single template for the book custom post type. Again, this was pretty easy also. So now we've had our look at the Spectra ecosystem, and we've done our walkthrough in the site builder of using Spectra Pro to create the theme templates in the site builder. Now let's have some discussion and conclusions. So first let me say that I used a beta version of Spectra Pro in making the video. The version I started out with, I ran into a few issues, and then I got an update which was much better. So I'm glad to see that they're using the beta period to work towards a strong version 1. In terms of strengths, Spectra has a good implementation of Flexbox. You know, a few years ago, none of the builders or Gutenberg add-ons had Flexbox support, and now all the major builders do, and many of the Gutenberg add-ons do. Consequently, if you learn how to use Flexbox with any one of these tools, then because it's an industry standard, then you know how to use it with other tools as well. Another strength of Spectra Pro is its support for dynamic data. Out of the box, they're supporting ACF, Metabox, and pods. Often new products just support ACF, but Metabox is becoming more popular. The Pro version has included features that are paid add-ons for ACF, and because it's modular and very performant, Metabox is becoming a favorite for power users. Pods is 100% free, and by including support for pods, they're basically making sure that anyone who wants to work with dynamic data with Spectra Pro is able to do so. Now, in the beginning of the video, I talked about the Spectra ecosystem, and I definitely think that's a strength of Spectra and Spectra Pro. You have the Astra theme, which has the integration with Spectra. You have the new Spectra 1 block theme, which has good support for Spectra Pro. You have the Astra starter sites with all the templates. Obviously, Brainstorm Force has hit on a formula or a realization that having high-quality pre-designed templates is very popular, and that's worked to their advantage. Now let's talk a little bit about the positioning of Spectra Pro. I think they're targeting something kind of like Cadence, where it's pretty easy to use for site builders and clients, that has enough flexibility and power for advanced users who want to build more sophisticated sites. When I looked at the list of features for Spectra Pro, I'm just talking about things, dynamic data, loop builder, pop-up builder, animations, customizable registration login forms, Instagram, countdown, Slider Pro, image gallery, modal builder, coming soon, maintenance mode option, and theme builder. Wow, that all sounded to me a lot like Elementor. And so talking about positioning, I imagine that Brainstorm Force is looking to position this to be something like the Elementor for Gutenberg. And a number of users of kind of first generation builders like Elementor and Divi are moving to Gutenberg now that it's maturing, and there are some strong solutions there. So I think they want to take advantage of that. When we talk about weaknesses, this is the weakness that is really not a weakness, or maybe it is, you tell me. Spectra Pro was teased over a year ago, and I know I had really high expectations. I know a lot of people have been waiting for it. And what I expect then is that Spectra Pro is going to be the next generation. It's going to be better than everything else, okay? So obviously Brainstorm Force with Astra and Spectra and Astra Starter sites is the leader. They have the market share. I guess it's also kind of a hope that rather than just try to be as good as the other options that are already out there, that they try to be the best. Now, we don't know what the pricing of Spectra Pro will be yet, but one thing we do know is that Spectra Pro is included in the Growth Bundle package. They've been selling that on the Astra website for a long time and saying that it includes their other products, and they're taking care of their users and fulfilling that promise. I think that's really great. And what it means is that out of the gate, Spectra Pro is going to have a lot of users and be very popular. So that's my look at Spectra Pro. It takes a lot of time to test and make this video. If you got something out of it, I'd appreciate if you give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. I've got a summary of the video available on the WebTNG website, along with other resources and reviews and videos. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching.